think some people long for the supernatural so much? Because I know atheists that believe in ghosts and that believe in this other stuff that are not per se requiring a god, but it's still supernatural, but not factual.
I think a lot of it is boredom. People are so bored they just want to believe that all this exciting shit exists because reality, in a lot of ways, is just kind of dull to people. It's not dull to me because if you research reality, understand what's really going on in the cosmos, it's very fascinating. Because a lot of people who don't have that thirst for knowledge, life is really fucking boring, and they want to believe in all this ridiculous bullshit just to make it a little bit more exciting. Like aliens and ghosts and all that kind of bullshit. The Yeti, Bigfoot.
Do you believe in aliens?
I believe that aliens exist somewhere in the universe, but I don't believe that they probably visited Earth. So I believe there's probably intelligent life out there, but the odds of them visiting Earth is very slim.
Exactly. If they were able to get here, we would be so minuscule, it wouldn't really matter at all.
Exactly. And if they're here, I don't understand why they wouldn't try to communicate with us better than they're doing. I mean, it seems ridiculous for them to travel all this way just to leave fucking crop circles in the middle of cornfields,
That's your favorite thing, isn't it? Crop circles.
Crop circles. I think it's so stupid. I hate this shit. I hate people telling me ridiculous bullshit and have ridiculous explanations for it and try to get me to believe it. It's just insulting my intelligence,
Yeah.
I like to be insulted.
I remember when I was 8 or 9, I was laying on the couch with my mom and Signs, the movie Signs.
No,
I saw the preview come up for it, and I was like, Mom, is it true? Are the aliens leaving signs?
Oh shit! Well, at least you grew out of it. A lot of people don't. So
yeah,
that's the good news.
Adults still believing in the fairy tales.
Exactly what it is. Adults believing in fairy tales.
One of the biggest arguments that comes to a Christian is, where do we get our morals?
We get our morals from our imagination. Our higher brain has developed to the point where we can imagine. Imagination is very beneficial because you can actually picture what's going to happen before you actually do it. So you don't have to actually go out and do shit. You can figure out what the outcomes are before you do it, which helps you to survive. It's a survival mechanism. But imagination also helps you have empathy. Empathy, because you can put yourself in other people's shoes and understand what they're going through. And that's where our morals come from. It's understanding what other people are going through and doing unto others what you'd like to have done unto you. It's a very ancient concept, predates Christianity by thousands of years.
Yeah, I know you're repeating a lot of your videos. I'm sorry, but a lot of the people that will watch this have not seen your videos. So
no problem at all. That's what I'm here for, to impart my knowledge to the next generation.
Dun 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 dun. The great cult leader of Dusty.
The great and powerful Dusty.
How did your family react to you being an atheist? I seen the letter from your aunt, which that was harsh.
That was harsh. That's my favorite aunt, man. I can't believe that shit. But she hasn't really talked to me since. I kind of made an example out of her. I made a public example out of her, and I did. That's what I did because I felt that a lot of people would be helped if I made a public example out of her. And plus, if you fuck with me, I'm probably going to make a public example out of you. That's just the way it is. You don't fuck with me, okay? You don't send me bullshit letters, and if you do, you might pretty much expect for me to make an example out of you, even if you're my favorite aunt or not. So she got kind of mad that I made a public example out of her, but I think that video I made of her really helped a lot of people. And I got a lot of messages from people saying that this really helped us understand how we should deal with our relatives. But pretty much, to answer your question, all my relatives disown me except for my immediate family. And all my immediate family, like my sisters and my mom, I deconverted. They're all either non-theist or I think my mom is a deist, but she's not a Christian anymore. So
yeah,
if you hang around me long enough, you're probably going to get converted. No doubt about it.
Yeah, I mean, just a few days ago, even, I was on my Facebook, and that big, long, 100 comment thing that I had on my Facebook about religion, she commented on it and said, well, it's his choice and it's my choice, but my question is, why is he still living with his mom? Because good or evil should not be able to live with light. Now, I posted, are you trying to say I should be kicked out for being an atheist?
That's exactly what she's saying. That's ridiculous. You're 17 years old. You're supposed to live with your mom, and you're 17 years old and enjoy yourself.
Exactly.
But you still can.
Yeah. I have college next year, so...
You got plenty to worry about when you get to be an adult. Enjoy being young while you can, for sure.
Yeah. Why do you care if people are Christians?
Because it's not beneficial to our society to have society, the people that run our society base their entire lives off this fiction and to try to force this fiction upon the rest of us. A lot of our laws are based on this fiction. A lot of and Christians use fairy tales to decide who they want to elect. The Republican Party is all about, people electing people because they believe that they are spiritual Christian people. And the Republican Party is running this fucking country to the ground. So, having a society that bases the very foundations of what they believe on fairy tales is not beneficial to them. It's not beneficial to us. And the second reason, probably the most important reason that I oppose religion, is because so many of our resources go towards religion. So much money, time, effort spent towards religion. And I call them resources, human resources and money resources. This should all be funneled towards science instead of religion. It's being wasted where it's at right now. Science is the thing that's going to extend our life. It's going to give us a better quality of life. And that's where our money and our time should go, not to spreading ridiculous fairy tales and bullshit. It's very simple, really.
Exactly. What was I going to say? Oh, this is a very controversial subject. Are you pro-abortion or...
Pro-abortion, that's a bad way to put it, man. You don't say pro-life. You got to get with
pro-life. I'm pro-life, and I'm against abortion, but I believe there are circumstances when it is a lot better for these cells to be destroyed than for the woman to die or for the child to have a bad life because there's not enough income to support it.
Exactly. I feel like these people that go out and have abortions just as a form of birth control, it's very tacky, and I'm not for abortion at all. And I think you should do it only as a last resort. But at the same time, you cannot force women to carry babies that they don't want to have because you're basically forcing them to be incubators. And like I say over and over again, if you tell somebody what they're allowed to do with their body, that's slavery. So making abortion illegal is just a form of slavery. And what are you going to do with women who want to have abortions? I mean, are you going to put them in jail for wanting to have abortions? There's videos you can go watch where they ask pro-life people what the penalty for having an abortion should be, and they won't answer the question. They simply won't answer the question. So it's a question that they won't even allow themselves to think about.
Exactly.
Are you going to put these women in jail?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not for abortion because the cells could turn into a life, but I look at it this way. If I was to go into a room and I was told I have to kill one of the things in there, and one was a 6-month-old child, and the other one was a tray of cells. Mm-hmm.
It's a no-brainer. To me, life, anyway, it begins when your brain starts getting brain functions and you start experiencing. To me, we're all our experiences. And so, before you're able to even experience things, you're just a lump of cells to me, Yeah. And I think, I've researched heavily into human physiology, and when you research it, you really realize that we're just biological machines anyway. We're just like biological robots. So, at the very smallest points before we actually start having experiences and stuff, it's just cell mass. It's just like anything else. It's like masturbation, Like sperm cells could equal a baby too, just like anything else.
Exactly.
But
and
no one cares about that.
People use hand sanitizer all the time. That's killing thousands of bacteria.
Exactly. They don't give a shit about them. They only give about life in certain cases. And it doesn't seem like the people that are really pro-life give a shit about the babies after they're born. So all the conservatives are always trying to cut all the programs that help the poor kids. And so, they don't give a fuck about the kids after they're born. They want all these poor women to have all these babies that they don't want. And they don't understand what's going to happen when they do this. I was watching a show the other night about abortion, and he was putting forth a theory why crime has fallen so much. And actually, if you look at the statistics, crime has really fallen heavily over the last few years. And they say it's because in the 70s, abortion was made illegal. And all the babies that are aborted, when they hit 20 years old, which is in the 90s, we saw a huge drop in the crime rate because those unwanted babies who would have been committing all these crimes weren't alive to commit all the crimes. And so there's a huge drop in crime rate because of that.
Yeah, and that's what I don't like. A whole bunch of Christians are like, it's end times, crime rate is going up, the world is going to end soon, 2012.
They haven't researched it at all. Crime rate has never been lower, sex crimes have never been lower. The reason people think that crime is higher is because we have all this media that focuses on every single little crime 24 hours a day and puts it in our face for sensationalism. But if you actually look at the stats, things have never been better. Our human quality of life has never been better. We've never lived longer, thanks to our modern science.
Yeah, doing news at the radio station, some of it is the most depressing stuff ever.
It is, really.
Especially, I live in Indiana, which, I don't know if you've heard, the stage collapse.
Yeah, Sugarland.
Yeah,